Ladies and gentlemen, the academic procession will enter shortly. You are kindly requested to stand.
Bomma le botate, molokoloko wa diruteri o tla tsena ka nako ye kopana, le kgopelwa go ema.
Dames en here, die akademiese prosesie sal binnekort inbeweeg. U word versoek om asseblief op te staan.
By the power vested in me, I hereby constitute this assembly as a legal congregation of the University of Pretoria. During this assembly, degrees with all the associated rights and privileges will be conferred to the candidates whose names appear in the program. Please take your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, we request you to join us in silent prayer or meditation to give thanks for the achievements of our students. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, as Chancellor of the University of Pretoria, I extend a hearty word of welcome to you at this graduation ceremony. In particular, I extend a hearty word of welcome to the recipient of honorary doctorate, Professor K. Wall, the Registrar, Professor C. Nicholson, the Dean, Professor W. Stein, Deputy Dean, Professor A. van der Merwe, chairpersons of schools, heads of departments, directors, emeriti and honorary professors, and other lecturers and their spouses. Representative of the Student Representative Council, who will present the SRC academic honorary colors, all persons to whom degrees will be conferred to this morning, all spouses, parents, and other parties, as well as dignitaries whom we may not be aware of. I now request the Dean to introduce to me the candidate for the honorary doctorate.
Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Professor Kevin Charles Arthur Wall for the conferment of the degree Doctor of Engineering honoris causa. Prof. Kevin Wall, a civil engineer and town planner, is extraordinary professor at the Department of Construction Economics of the University of Pretoria. A fellow of the South African Academy of Engineering and past president of the South African Institution of Civil Engineering, he has received both the SAICI Gold Medal, the highest honor that the civil engineering profession can bestow in South Africa, and the Lifetime Award of the National Science and Technology Forum, the highest honor that can be bestowed. We will give a moment.
Use your stage voice.
The generator will pop in. We will just give a moment. I'll check when the microphone goes. There we are. Apologies for that small interruption. Fortunately, we've got backup. He also received the Lifetime Award for the National Science and Technology Forum, the highest honor that can be bestowed by the science, engineering, and technology community. Until last year, he was a non-executive board member of the Ekurhuleni Water Care Company, which takes care of the wastewater of the industrial heartland of Gauteng and its 4 million people. He has served on several other municipal entities' boards and was deputy chairperson of the Council of King Hintsa Technical and Vocational Education and Training College. Much of his work over the last 2 decades has focused on the effectiveness of government spending on infrastructure and ways to improve the quality, reliability, and sustainability of that infrastructure. In this respect, he led the research team for the 4 SAICI report cards on the infrastructure condition in South Africa in 2006, 11, 17, and 2022, and drafted the National Infrastructure Maintenance Strategy, which Cabinet approved. Since leaving the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research as a Built Environment Fellow, he has consulted widely. Recent appointments included Infrastructure Advisor to a branch of the Treasury, member of a team evaluating the Government Technical Advisory Center, and Capital Program and Project Appraisal for the German Foreign Aid Agency GIZ, and of Facility Sector Planning, the City of Cape Town. He researches and publishes extensively, usually on topics related to enabling engineering and service delivery to take place rather than on engineering itself. Madam Chancellor, I request you to confer the honorary doctorate on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Engineering, honoris causa, with all the rights and privileges on Professor Kevin Charles Arthur Wall. Congratulations.
I'm a little nervous, pardon me. It's a long time. I won't say how long, but since I stood and received a degree. I won't tell you when I received my first degree. Anyway, long time ago, simply date me. So thank you, Chancellor, much appreciated. Vice Chancellor, Dean, and university colleagues for this great honor. I didn't get here today solely through my own effort. Through this award, you are also honoring 3 groups of people who've been so influential in my life. I'm speaking now to the graduates. Revere those who teach and mentor you. You will be grateful to them throughout your career. The people whose names I now mention will not be known to you, but are people who mean a lot to me. I was extremely lucky to have fine teachers and mentors and also line managers. Highly competent people, all of them with open minds, never authoritarian, always willing to explain or discuss. Many names come to mind, but today I mention only 5. There's Brother Barry, my mathematics and science teacher for my last few years at school, Professor Derek Sparks at UCT where I graduated, Pierre Myberg, my boss in my first job at Ninham Shandon Partners, consulting engineers now part of Zutari, David Jack, architect and planner, a visionary with extraordinary ability to drive a massive project. I'm sure you've all been to the Victoria and Alfred waterfront in Cape Town. That was David's creation. And Jan Brandt, assistant city engineer of Cape Town, technical personal assistant I was for a number of years, a man of towering intellect. I'm deeply grateful to them. I was brought up in a culture of you study hard, you work hard, you will get somewhere. Graduates, your graduation does not mark the end of your education. It marks only the end of the beginning of your education. You should be learning all the way through your career. I'm still learning. Multi-skill yourself, diversify. My first master's was in town planning. It's been many years since I did actual engineering. And these days I work mostly at creating enabling environments for engineering and service delivery to take place. The second group of people I want to mention are those who gave me particular opportunities through my career. Again, you won't know the names, but those to whom I'm most grateful are Dennis Maben at City Engineers Department, Dr. Rodney Milford at the CSIR, and 2 professors who afforded me opportunities at this university, Krishna Duplessis and Benita Zulch. And the third category is my parents. Neither of them enjoyed the privilege of matriculating, let alone university education, but they worked hard to afford to send me to study engineering. It's to them that I dedicate this great honor I've received. I'm told that the graduates, that's you, and your families and supporters have had a hard time this last few years, have you? Anyway, part of my function apparently is to make you feel good about yourselves and the profession. So first of all, to congratulate the families and supporters, and to congratulate you, the graduates, on getting to this point and on your career choice. I begin with my credo. It can be stated very simply and from the heart. It's great to be an engineer. I've never regretted my career choice. What makes it so great? First, I'll tell you what it isn't about. Then I'll tell you what it is, or at least what I found it to be. What isn't it except, well, sort of. Well, I made a comfortable living from my profession. I'm not going to tell you that I made lots and lots of money because it wouldn't be true. However, I knew from the start this would be the case. And quite early on in my career, I heard this confirmed. One of my civil engineering colleagues told the story about how his father had a shop on the main road in Wynberg in Cape Town. And next door was a shop owned by an elderly gentleman. And the little youngster, when he went to school, every time he went to see his father's shop, he'd always go and pop in next door. And the old man would say to him, how's it doing at school? How's it doing it? And eventually one day it was decided that the little guy whose name was Ivor was going to go to university and he was going to study engineering. So he goes next door and he tells the owner, Mr. Rabinovitz, he says, I'm going to study engineering. And Mr. Rabinovitz looked at him, puzzled, and he said, engineering? What is that? And he said, I took him outside and I showed him the roads, I showed him the electricity, I showed him the drains, I showed him the buildings. And the old man shook his head and he said to me, do you think you're going to make a fortune out of that? Well, especially now, these are not good times, particularly for the construction industry, which is tragic considering how much need there is in this country for the kind of expertise that we represent. Think about the water that still has to be provided and the sanitation. That means dams, the in-town reservoirs, reticulation, treatment works, electricity, reminded daily, and a moment ago again, the supply is not meeting demand. Our industrial capacity, ability to make the goods needed for 21st 21st century living in South Africa to export. Engineering involved in growing crops, processing and getting food to the table. None of these are what they ought to be. The need for our services are immense. So why are things as they are? Among other reasons, because 163 of the 257 municipalities are dysfunctional. That's the term that President Ramaphosa used in his SONA earlier this year. Why that is, it's not my job to tell you, but I've got a number of theories, one of which involves a rude joke about politicians. In Genesis in the Bible, we read that God created order out of chaos, but someone must have caused the chaos. Possibly one or two collapsed municipal coalitions were involved in that chaos. Despite all this, what makes it so great to be an engineer? Why do we like our work so much? As in the story of the lady engineer who had 2 boyfriends, and not concealing the one from the other, she made sure that each boyfriend knew there was another boyfriend. So when she was with the first boyfriend, he could think that when she wasn't with the first boyfriend, he could think that she was with the second one. When she wasn't with the second one, he could think that she was with the first one. Meantime, where was she? She was at work on site doing engineering. Hey. A whole lot of things make it so great to be an engineer. Let me focus on 2, and the one is the contribution that it makes to humankind. Either that is the challenge and it's fun. About the contribution, consider what it is that you will be doing. There's a story of the medieval equivalent of a newspaper reporter who visited a construction site. He asked the one guy, "What are you doing?" The reply came, "I'm digging this hole in the ground." He asked the second guy, "What are you doing?" "I'm building a wall with these stones." Third guy said, "I'm putting these roof trusses into position." But the fourth person he asked had the bigger picture. He replied, "We are building a great cathedral." So what is this great thing that we are building? We are building a nation. I'll give you one tiny example of that. With infrastructure, we fight poverty. Infrastructure provides the services to improve quality of life and underpin the economy. But also infrastructure offers opportunity for the direct employment of many South Africans, and especially for the poor and marginalized. Okay, if it's serious purpose and the benefit it brings to humankind, it's one of the reasons why it's so great to be an engineer. What is the other one? What's the challenge? And it's fun. As you heard, it was my privilege to have been president of the South African Institution of Civil Engineering a few years ago. As president, you get to go around the country, you meet members and view whatever the hot construction projects are at that place at the time. When I went to Richards Bay, there were harbour extensions on the go, specifically a new bulk products jetty. I met with the harbour engineer and the designers and contractors for the jetty. Problem, the floor of the harbour is alluvial material for about 40 meters. So how do you found the jetty? Well, you drive piles through 20 meters of water and 40 meters of this silty stuff which provides no strength, and then deep into the rock below. How do you do that? Especially, how do you get concrete to the piles at the far end when the jetty between the piling site and the shore hasn't been built yet? You can't simply drive a ready-mixed concrete truck because there's no jetty in between. Enthusiasm of these guys interrupting each other to tell me, take an old crane barge, remove the crane, refurbish the barge into, take a ready-mixed concrete truck, remove the wheels and cab, bring into something else with a pipeline long enough to reach from the shore, fabricate it together, fix up the pumping arrangements and proceed. Interrupting each other all the time. So enthusiastic. Suddenly I had an image of little children playing with their toy cars in the sand. Now these children were grown up, but still playing with their toys. This time the toys, full size, costing millions of rands, building infrastructure, valued at more than $1 billion. Wowee, what fun. As usual when talking about my profession, the profession that you're entering, I get carried away with enthusiasm. So let me conclude by once again congratulating the families and supporters. Well done. Thank you for being with the young ones all the way. Then congratulating you, the graduates. And if you haven't listened to anything else that I said, please remember these words from Mr. Eric Hall, who many years ago was the city engineer of Johannesburg and also president of the institution. A newspaper reporter once asked him, if you had not become an engineer, what would you have been? He replied, I would have been ashamed of myself. Thank you again, Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, Dean, and university colleagues, for what I fully appreciate, the tremendous honor that you have bestowed. Thank you.
I offer my profound gratitude to Professor Wall for the wonderful speech that he has delivered. Let's give him another big round of applause. I now request the Dean to introduce to me the candidates present whose names appear in the program.
Madam Chancellor, the supervisors will now introduce the 3 doctorate candidates.
Madam Chancellor, I introduce to you Edwin Uloch Koyu Kabira, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctorate of Philosophy in Landscape Architecture with a thesis titled Identifying Preserving Urban Landscape Identity Through Public Participation in the Context of Urban Renewal, a case study of Kisumu City, Kenya, prepared under my supervision. Urban renewal to improve quality of life impacts urban landscape identity. In this thesis, identifying and preserving urban landscape identity through public participation in the context of urban renewal, a case study of Kisumu City, Kenya, the candidate investigated the degree to which public participation assists in preserving landscape identity and urban renewal. The case study used a mixed method approach, including statistic analyzed population survey, a policy document review, on-site observations, and photo-eliciting interviews. Findings revealed that changes in urban physical form due to urban renewal positively impacted the city's landscape identity. Despite not being involved in public participation processes during the urban renewal, the respondents were satisfied with the overall outcome. The study concludes that to preserve landscape identity, it should be acknowledged in legislation and policies that guide urban renewal and public participation. The study has identified a concern for preserving urban landscape identity and the importance of natural landscape elements and views in African cities. Madam Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on the candidate.
Madam Chancellor, I introduce to you Jonathan Damilola Oladechi, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Real Estate, with a thesis titled Impact of Macroeconomic Indicators on Incremental Housing Finance in South Africa, prepared under the supervision of Professor B.G. Zulch, as well as Dr. J.A. Yassim as co-supervisor. Housing finance in South Africa has historically been out of reach of the low and middle income class, resulting in a growing housing shortage. In this thesis, Impact of Macroeconomic Indicators on Incremental Housing Finance in South Africa, the candidate used a mixed method approach to explore an innovative approach to affordable housing finance as a significant contribution to a Pan-African study. The relationship between the National Housing Finance Corporation model and the macroeconomic data in South Africa was explored to build a framework for risk mitigation practices and investment decision-making in an organization. The framework provides market insights that can potentially improve investors' confidence and policy-making regarding incremental housing finance in South Africa, which might extrapolate to the rest of Africa. The study contributes to reducing the housing backlog and improving performance. Madam Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on the candidate.
Madam Chancellor, I introduce to you Dale Leslie Shand, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy and Landscape Architecture with a thesis titled Nature-Based Park Making, Interpreting Nearby Nature Narratives to Promote Environmental Justice in the City of Tshwane Community Parks, prepared under supervision of myself. Parks are valuable nearby nature places and cities, often inequitably provided based on socioeconomic factors and other social and institutional mechanisms. In this thesis, Nature-Based Park Making, Interpreting Nearby Nature Narratives to Promote Environmental Justice in the City of Tshwane Community Parks, the candidate investigated the various factors contributing to environmental justice related to local community parks in the City of Tshwane. The candidate conceptualized environmental justice in the city by taking a phased approach from macro-scale geovisualization process to an intimate local and ethnographic consideration of nearby nature narratives. The candidate also identified unique human-nature relationships informing local cultural ecosystem services. The research contributes to place-specific interpretations of cultural ecosystem services. It proposes guiding principles for improved park making that address knowledge, engagement, design informants, and inclusive praxis for landscape architects. It further enumerates locally appropriate nearby nature benefits. Madam Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on the candidate.
Madam Chancellor, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Master of Architecture. Lucien Klute. Christy de Jong with distinction. Wessel Eberson, he also receives the award of the Corrobrick Brick Prize for the best use of brick in design in the Improv degree program. Nazira Goga. Caitlin Gopal with distinction. Annie Kiese with distinction. She also receives the following prizes: the David Haddon Award for the student in the School of the Built Environment with the highest average in the practice modules of the professional postgraduate programs in the Department of Architecture 800 series modules, and also the Twin City Development Prize to a student who has achieved a highest final mark for a master's degree dissertation completed in the professional, applied science or research programs in the Department of Architecture. Bevan Lennox with distinction. Annemarie Maritz. Jeshairan Pillay. Jacques Potgieter. Alexi Rodokanakis with distinction. He also receives the Sarah Prize for the most heritage-conscious design in all programs. Debbie Schultz. Anna Short. Karel Smit. Manay van der Skyf. Melisha van Lochrenberg with distinction. She also receives the South African Institute of Architects Prize for the student in the professional program of postgraduate studies in architecture with the highest average in all the 700 and 800 modules. She also receives the Pretoria Institute of Architecture Prize for the best design student in MArch Prof. And she also receives the Corrobrick Prize for the student with the best final design project in the MArch Prof program. Konrad Venter with distinction. Madam Chancellor, the following candidates have complied with all requirements for the degree Master of Interior Architecture. Tessa Kruger with distinction. She also receives the Johanna Miller Trophy for the student in the professional program of postgraduate studies in interior architecture with the highest average in all the 700 and 800 modules. Kirsten Nieboer. Madam Chancellor, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Master of Landscape Architecture. Ben Uester with distinction. He also receives the Greening Prize for the student in the professional program of postgraduate studies in landscape architecture with the highest average in all the 700 and 800 modules. And he also receives the Institute of Landscape Architects of South Africa Book Prize for the best design student in ML Prof. Shemone King. Ryan May. Amy Roos. Madam Chancellor, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Master of Town and Regional Planning. Christoffel Boshoff. Sibunisu Dlamini. David Haikonda. Salome Hamayulu. Ntwisiso Shlekane. Katlego Hungwane. Sinosolo Jali. Mamelo Kutsuani. Vukosi Kwinika. Zwelibanzi Lushaba. Rulani Mabasa. Ngaka Macheti. Rujani Madamalala. Selina Matleiwane. Lucky Maduna. Simankele Magaba. Riranzu Maslalela. Natlu Makolo. Nokututa Malefu. Tebogo Malope. Gunani Mamba. Tandeka Mafalala. Nicholas Marambire. Tabu Mashele. Miyelani Mashwanganye. Godardine Mate. Mashudu Matoho. Nokulunga Mchunu. Lorenda Modubu. Sifisu Molefi. Selailu Mojaha. Mamoitoi Mpe. Pindile Msomi. Mtuliseni Mchali. Chileshe Mukuka. Zwidu Felangani Munzelele. Natalia Mieza. Zeyise Mzamu. Sitembile Nkube. Konoswang Ngakane. Ntai Ngwepe. Hyacinth Nshlumayo. Boipelo Pefo. Lutandu Plaki. Tandu Gamba. Nzalama Komondi. Trevor Ratone. Nathaniel Samuel. Mahabu Sequela. Senche Shaku. Ayanda Sondara. Ivonia Tena. Andiswa Twala. Tandeka Twala. Dimakatsu Tolo. Sifendile Zulu. Ntukozo Zwane. Madam Chancellor, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Master of Science in Applied Science Architecture. Zama Tusi. Madam Chancellor, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Master of Science Real Estate. Lingyi Wang. Jan Jordan. Chechang Matsietsa. Grace Marafi. Bulumko Nelana. Andrea Schrijfs with distinction. Driekus van Rooyen. Pieter Hendrik Venter. Madam Chancellor, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Bachelor of Architecture Honours. Mitchell Austin. Ahisha Beck. Kulukani Bila. Christel Botha. Flavio dos Santos. Taryn Gleisbroek with distinction. Megan Yesa. Melissa Harmse. Pierre Hugo with distinction. He also receives the Holm Jordan Prize for the student with the highest average in all the modules for the degree B.Arch Honours. He also receives the Pretoria Institute of Architecture Prize for the best design student in B.Arch Honours. Lonwabu Jali. Hendrik Jonker. Andel Kotze. Louis Kruger. Marie Landman. Danielle Moller. Adrienne MacDonald. Tlamelo Mujapoko. Courtney Shaw with distinction. Kayla Smith. Cecilia Sneyman. Tyler Summerton. Christopher Thompson. Gina Mia van der Walt. Kyla Brunilde van Skalkwijk. Jacques van Vieren. Ethan Viljoen. Natasha Swartz. Madam Chancellor, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Bachelor of Interior Architecture Honours. Tabisu Maja. Kara Potgieter. Madam Chancellor, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Bachelor of Landscape Architecture Honours. Jordan Close. Alice Duplessis, with distinction. She also receives the Institute of Landscape Architects of South Africa Book Prize for the Best Design Student in BL Arch Honours. Pumzile Konile. Charles Naudier. Nicola Wenold. Madam Chancellor, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Bachelor of Science Honours Construction Management. Eben Kutsie. Friedrich Joubert. He also receives the Protea Book Prize for the Best Final Year Student for the degree in BSc Honours in Construction Management. Christian Korf. Stefan Pretorius. Rahul Susankar. Andries Snyman. Tlakale Tulare. Johannes van Sandwijk. Madam Chancellor, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Bachelor of Science Honours Quantity Surveying. Ronaldo Bruyners. Tunis de Lange. Katlego Diale. Armand de Tooy. Kagisu Gaubuse. Duncan Geldenhuis. Aldrin Gurwe. Kobus Hatting. Jordan Hill. Victor Hugo. Sisanda Jojo. Stefan Klopper. He also receives the ACOM Prize for the student with exceptional academic achievement in construction contract law. Sharnay Lewis. Ruan Lubunga. Pegelo Maslaela. Telisian Mashloko. Sitabile Mdleche. Ruben Milne. Letukutula Mkwanazi. Mwagabo Moloisi. Matthew Monk. Komotsu Motao. Langelichle Mtetwa. Maritz Mulder. Jacques Olivier. Marcel Westhuizen. Rendani Ramoedzizi. Valentina Sega. Ipfi Shavani. Matimba Sitole. Andreas Swanepoel with distinction. Rudolf van den Berg. Laurens van der Merwe. Tian van der Walt. Marnel Visagi. Stefan Visser with distinction. He also receives the Association of South African Quantity Surveyor Prize for the best final year student for the degree BSc Honours in Quantity Surveying. Madam Chancellor, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Bachelor of Science Honours Real Estate. Michael Besuidenhout with distinction. Nicole Caldera. Moaz Kassim. Nkateku Chabane. Alexander Dedekind with distinction. Malcolm Heath. Gerard Kotze. Retabile Mahasha. Laratu Malakapatla. Masalailu Moshlala. Hoitsiona Motloba. Mbalenhle Mtimkulu. Dylan Murphy. Narshani Naransami. Nosipu Ngwani. Elelwani Ramagoma. Rifilwe Surumula. Zafar Tayop. Rico van der Merwe. Madam Chancellor, the following candidates have complied with all requirements for the degree Bachelor of Science Architecture. Matthew Abel. Matthew Butcher. Stefanie Sillier, with distinction. She also receives the Pretoria Institute of Architecture Prize for the Best Design Student in BSc Architecture. Erin Kurtzen. Hercules Coetzee. Daniel Cunningham Scott. Annette Engelbrecht. Elongo Ngondo. Varushka Govender. Ramiz Hayat. Pierre Hubert. Lisa Keiter. Kyutei Kim. Lehanri Malan with distinction. Gerard Marais. Ruben Marais. Mvuzu Mazibu. Nicoline Meyrang. Carmi Mulder. Lindman Petzer with distinction. Andrew Fulpot with distinction. Margot Pio. Tristan Poulter. Alana Power. Max Robinson. Annette Semmelink. Mtukozisi Skosana. Tylen Smith. Lara Ann Strydom. Obakeng Tsimane. David Turner. Prier Uckerman. Nadia van Rooyen with distinction. Burger Venter. Loranay Villiers. Anja Vosloo. Kungayu Chuma. Madam Chancellor, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Bachelor of Science, Interior Architecture. Oloratu Bodigelo. Inge Bosch. Francesca De Moura. Robin Fourie with distinction. Carly Jordan. Nicolas Hubert. Abigail Kruger with distinction. Magdalena Olearzik. Shavir Rampal. Caitlin Regan. Lakshita Sharma. Magderi Smit. Marie-Louise Tron. Jelandri van Aert. Renate van der Merwe. Kaylee Vaas. Jelismarie Venter. Madam Chancellor, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Bachelor of Science, Landscape Architecture. Matthew Bush. He also receives the Cave Klapwijk Landscape Architects Prize for the third-year student with the highest average in all modules of the Landscape Architecture program. Lebone Chwabi. Shanae de Beer. Josephine Duplessis. She also receives the Institute of Landscape Architects of South Africa Book Prize for the Best Design Student in BSc Landscape Architecture. Melissa Lewis. J.D. McDonald. Kanisile Mbata. Danielle Nigrini. Georgia Rogers. Semokaleng Semono. Madam Chancellor, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Bachelor of Science, Construction Management. Zandrey Bellingham. Anthony Seronio. Hendrik Klute, with distinction. He also receives the Lieber Trophy for the Best Student in Construction Management 320 and the Protea Book Prize for the Best Final Year Student for the degree BSc Construction Management. Grant Finlayson. Thanks. Michael Fourie. Karabu Khashubelwe. Lachodi. Randu Maluleke. Chepu Maluleke. Naledi Mukwena. Liam Moore. Dylan Mostert. Matsubani Motua. Tinashi Mupasvi Riwu. Kian Nodia. Nicolaas Oosthuizen. Nikhail Singh. Svezile Tusi. Jehandrey van Eck. Johannes Welman. Emmanuel Williams. Madam Chancellor, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Bachelor of Science, Quantity Surveying. Mayana Chauke. Slekani Chikova. Shantay Cornelius, with distinction. She also receives the Gauteng branch of the Association of South African Quantity Surveyors for the best student in Quantities 300. Chiara Cronier. Deepta Daya. Tunis de Klerk. Tabisu Dlamini. Willem de Preer. Moshiu Duba. Amber Freestone. Zaneta Gerber. She also receives the Gauteng branch of the Association of South African Quantity Surveyors Prize for the best student in Quantities 300. Pascal Kruger. George Lategan. Rachel Lagranci. She also receives the Association of South African Quantity Surveyors Prize for the best final year student for the degree BSc Quantity Surveying. Elna Leroux. Sisipu Machingwani. Urapeleng Makubu. Raisibe Manamela. Plotlisu Matlabe. Jared Merolds. Tafatswa Midzi. Ntombiza Sembo Mkize. Tyler Mundi with distinction. Andiswa Ngidi. Matthew Nordingen Corus. Reinhard O'Neill. Kyla Rose. Pleasure Sagafa. Dian Sieker. Alexander Smit. Mbasa Subekwa. Mark Sterling. Carlia Swart. Cameron Taylor. Leandro Teodosi. Johannes van der Westhuizen. Divan van Wyk. Carl Verster. Ruben Walters. Ian Ward. Mark Wolter. Sipapelu Chaba. Madam Chancellor, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Bachelor of Science, Real Estate. Thomas Clark. Moses Dlamini. Jean Duplessis. Caitlin Elish. Daniel Hanger. Divan Immelman. Dorcas Keza. Daniel Kayambade. Wilhelm Makunk. Kuketsu Mapakela. Bakang Moremedi. Pamela Nwaila. Bill Nyanongo. Naledi Shozi with distinction. Tokolo Tobachale. Unati Tuta. Madam Chancellor, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Bachelor of Town and Regional Planning. Natalia Chikweshe. Tansen Govender. Dylan Hanslow. Matthew Hubert. Mohammed Khan. Bright Koza. Martinez Linde. Maruping Mania. Sibonisu Made. Leseo Mailani. Comfort Mashlaba. Londiwe Majola. Tintwalu Makua with distinction. Paladi Malachi. Lindukukhle Mapanga. Chepisu Masoga. Mbali Masumbuka with distinction. She also receives the Plan Associates Town and Regional Planners Prize for the student with the best research report in town and regional planning. Sitembisu Matlatletsa. Madiniu Metzing. Kwanele Mkhwaba. Penny Mkhotsi. Sorry. Nemangwele Monyemakwele. Thanks, hey. Tiamu Motao. Kutlwanu Mobani. Tinyiku Mtanyani. Alwandisholu Nkobo with distinction. Sibusisu Nyati. Deogracious Pilanyani. Jared Pillay. James Richards. Tamzeen Romans. Belinda Schnettler. Simon Skutte. Bontley Sinwamadi. Mapula Setole. Lesegu Shole. Sandile Chabalala. Tepang Chabalala.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is an opportune moment to give our graduates a big hand for their hard work and perseverance. And I would now like to ask our graduates to applaud their families, friends, and spouses for their support over the years. We have now come to the end of the proceedings. Before we close, I wish to invite all present for refreshments afterwards in the marquee situated in front of the Rembrandt Hall. You are requested to stand for the singing of the national anthem and to remain standing until the assembly has been dissolved and the academic procession has left the auditorium. The words of the national anthem are printed on the inside back cover of the program. Please rise. By the powers vested in me, I hereby dissolve this assembly of the University of Pretoria.
Gabeamus igitur, iugenes dum